Maiher ji, welcome and thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me and allowing me to speak.
Maiher ji, we have seen you perform on Jori and we have also seen you perform on the tabla at the Raag Darbar. So before we go further into our conversation, if you could explain our viewers your different percussion instruments that you play and what is the difference between them?
Sure. So first I'll start with Jori. So from the tabla, before tabla came, actually Jori was the prominent percussion instrument, especially in Punjab. This is because it was mainly played within the Kirtan style, which was in the olden days, it was in the Dhrupat style. And there's very many similarities in the way of playing with Jori and Pakhavaj. There's more of a similarity there. And then after came tabla, after Jori, then came tabla. So first Pakhavaj, then came Jori, then tabla. Yeah. So that's Jori, and one of the biggest differences is the size. You can see it's a fairly big instrument compared to the tabla. It's made out of wood. This one specifically as well. It's a bigger size, a bigger mouth. These ones are maybe 7.5 inches. Tabla is maybe 5.5, 6 inches.
So in terms of playing tabla versus playing Jori or playing Pakhavaj, like what would be the difference? Definitely we could feel the difference when we heard you play the Jori. It is a very different kind of, the resonance it gives is very different than tabla. So
Jori is actually mainly played in open-handed style. So as you saw on Friday, Friday I played, it was the dhama, the left side, or the baya, it's completely open-handed. There's no, like on tabla you play with your fingers. There your full hand is going up and down, right? And then on the daya side, the right side, the tabla, we are playing full-handed top instead of tabla, which is mainly on your fingers. So that's the big difference in the playing style.
So thanks for this information, Maiher ji. So I would like to know, like, how did your journey into this music begin?
Sure. So actually, when I was just born, before I was even born, music was not like, my parents were not musicians or anything of the sort, but they were music lovers. They all enjoyed music. Raag Sangeet was a big thing for them. And so while like my mom was pregnant, she used to play a lot of music, a lot of Raag Sangeet. And so I guess that must have had a little bit of an effect.
Definitely, you got imbibed into that journey.
And then so as I was born, there was actually in my family, my mom's cousin, my mamaji, he was a tabla player as well. He was a student of Ustad Gurmeet Singh Virk. And so I was heavily inspired by seeing him play. When I was very young, before, I don't even remember, this is what my parents have told me actually. Then at the age of 5, my dad was like, okay, let's start you with tabla properly. And there was a teacher in Toronto, because that's where I'm from, Harpal Singh Kallaji. He is a student of Pandit Kishan Maharaji. And so he started me off on tabla, like basics, naat and all these basic. And from there, my interest of Jori also began at a very young age, 5 years old or so. Because I was very lucky to hear recordings of my Guruji, my Ustad Sikandar Singh Pinkiji, at the age of 5 years old. Hearing his Jori had so much of an effect on me. At the age of 6, I was like, I don't want to play tabla, I want to play Jori. That was the big thing. So eventually, both were being taught to me at the same time actually. And at the age of about 9, I had reached a certain stage with Harpal Uncle Ji, and he's like, no, now we need to send you to Ustad Ji, Guruji, Ustad Sikandar Singh Pinky Ji. And then from there, he willingly and lovingly accepted me as a student. And ever since then, he's been blessing me anytime I see him, anytime I call him. It's just a never-ending learning with him.
कहते हैं कि you have to take that extra step or go travel that extra mile to reach some excellence, you know. So I'm sure आपके जो भी गुरुजी रहे हैं, family members हैं जिन्होंने who have nurtured your musical talent have helped you achieve this stage and achieve this excellence. So and your Guruji, Ustad Sukhvinder Singh Pinky ji, he is a very big name in the percussion world. So like I think you must be feeling yourself very fortunate to have his blessings and his teachings you know, with you.
No, every day I think my lucky stars that I've been able to sit with him one-on-one in group setting and private setting and hear his tabla Jori obviously, but also his life story is very interesting, and within that you get to learn a lot.
Okay.
A lot more about him and his tabla and his music. And with that,
I think it's an inspiration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, for sure.
Yeah, all right. So, Maiher, at what age or what stage of your life did you decide that you want to pursue this and adopt this as your profession? And, because life gets busy with school, education, and then profession, but to be being connected with music completely and devoting it completely is a different thing altogether. So how did that happen?
Honestly, I'm actually still studying at this time. I'm only 20.
Okay.
So I'm studying, but I'm actually studying music as well.
Yeah.
But so I'm studying psychology and music.
Okay.
And so actually in my second year is when I decided that, you know what, maybe there's a good idea and there's a chance I can take this in my profession as well.
Yeah.
So I was about maybe 18 or 19. I spent a lot of time at that time. I was able to stay with Guruji.
Yeah.
And I think there was a big effect. He came stay with us as well, and he come to Toronto a lot.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was a big effect on me that, I could take this professionally and just like devote myself to the music, honestly.
Yeah, it's a big thing because it's a big decision, right?
Exactly.
And to have those right blessings, right teachings, right teachers, and right environment around is very important. So Maiher has traveled from Toronto for the Raag Darbar event.
Yes.
So we were fortunate to listen to your Jodi and tabla as well.
Yeah.
So Maiher, like Riyaz, I think, is a very, very important component of Indian classical music. So, how did you get into this discipline, and any challenges that you had to overcome?
For Riyaz?
Yeah, for Riyaz or your sadhana for this.
Obviously, everyone's life has challenges, that's for sure. And for me, I started when I was young, so the big challenge for me was obviously balancing school and Riyaz.
Yeah.
And just like making sure I can do both at a high level.
Yeah.
And I found that was the biggest challenge for me growing up, was that let me make sure I'm getting good grades, but let me not let my Riyaz slip. So it was just all about time management, really, and committing yourself. Like I would try and get up before school, do Riyaz then before I go to school. Then I would come back and do Riyaz. This was my way of managing it, delegating it out.
Yeah, that's a great dedication, I think. That even being in school, you are devoting and dedicating that particular number of hours every day for your Riyaz. So, no, that's also very motivating for our viewers who wants to, pursue this.
It only happened because of Guruji. Actually watching him get up I used to see him get up very early and do his Riyaz. And so from there I was like, I should probably do the same thing if I want to get somewhere in this music. Obviously you have to follow your guru. And so seeing him get up early and seeing how much he used to come stay at my house when I was really I was maybe 10 or 11, and I would see him do Riyaz 8-10 hours a day. It didn't even matter to him. He just did it. It was fine. So seeing that happen was a big inspiration for me.
Yeah. To actually see him, live with you and do his Riyaz, I think has had an impact on your life also. So I'm sure, we must be having young viewers or artists or those enthusiasts who wants to pursue this. So you are a very good example of the newer generations adopting the legacy of the Indian classical music. Anything you want to say or give a message to very young students of tabla or any kind of percussion instruments?
Sure. Yeah, I think as a young musician myself as well, and those who are younger than me are pursuing this, I think it's really important to commit yourself to your art, whatever it is, even if it's tabla, jodi, vocal. Committing yourself to your art and your guru, focusing on sticking with that guru, following his teachings, and understanding what he's really trying to tell you, and putting that in your own Riyaz. It's really very important, and you'll see that there's a bigger effect on your music when you follow this kind of structure, I would say.
No, thank you for that, Maiher. And Maiher, you must have performed at various different, stages, and you must have accompanied a lot of great musicians, So, any kind of memorable performance that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I think one of my, obviously for any student, any music student, the biggest goal for them, especially in their early days, is trying to accompany your guru.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
That's, I think, yeah, it holds
So,
a very, very high
it's on everyone's bucket list, one can say
Yes,
maybe.
definitely.
But for me, I was very lucky that Guruji was, you know, he felt like I was ready, maybe, I don't know. But he allowed me to accompany him just in October of 2024. At the Rose Theatre, we had done a Jodi duet, and he was nice enough to let me play. And there we had played 13 and a half beats, Sri Guru Nanak Tal, which is actually his own style that he has created.
Okay.
And so that was his first time presenting it, and he's like, you know, we should do it together. And I said, well, with your blessing,
Yes,
obviously.
definitely. That must be a great opportunity.
No, it was a lifetime opportunity, once in a lifetime for sure.
Yeah. All right. Maiher ji, before we conclude this, I would like to request you that please grace us and our audience with a short performance, and we'll be really honored with that.
Sure.